Hey guys, this is something that we're wanting to try doing with each of you, each of our life groups throughout the week, and that is for me to on a Sunday afternoon kind of go in here and record a recap of our Sunday morning service as far as where my thought process was, and try and maybe cover a couple of bases that I hadn't covered during the message. However, this morning, I believe we covered quite a bit this morning, and I was telling a friend of mine, my brother, that this morning I tackled a whole bunch of sacred cows and put the knife to a couple of the throats and didn't sacrifice a single one of them. So I did something this morning that was kind of insane by attacking and kind of bringing to light several different thought processes that are in the church that we really don't know where they came from. But if you're watching this, you are in one of our life group Facebook groups, and I want to say first, thank you for joining a life group. Thank you for making that commitment, dedicating your time, dedicating your energy, and investing yourself into one of our life groups, because I truly believe that it is within the life group that we're going to see the most spiritual growth and the most maturity. Uh, there's so many people who believe that they can grow in their faith without community, and that's just not the case. So thank you for being in that life group, and thank you to those of you who are facilitating these life groups. You are without a doubt some of the foundation of Veritas, and without you we could not do what we are doing. So let's go ahead and let's jump into our thought process of conversations with Bishop. And this is something we're going to be doing on Sunday mornings here at the church every Sunday for the remainder of September. And I want you to do me a favor. And if you have questions that you would like to see me address, or you have questions that you would like to ask that you've never asked before, but you would like to ask them, then do me a favor and text me at my number, which is down here on the screen, 803-720-7600. Text me any question that you've ever wanted to ask a pastor, and we will we will work on answering those questions. So this morning during our service, I only had one question that was asked, and that question was this: Are we living in the end times? Are we living in the end times? If you haven't had a chance yet, do me a favor and go watch our video from this Sunday morning. You can find it on our Facebook page. If you were not able to attend, watch that. It will answer some of your questions, but hopefully, what it will do is it will cause more questions to be asked. I believe that the best way for us to grow in our faith is to ask questions that we don't know the answer to, and to ask questions that I don't think that we'll ever get the answer to. There are many pastors out there who feel threatened whenever you present a question to them that they don't know the answer to, and that is not me. Ask your questions, ask away, but don't be upset if I look at you and give you the "Mm, I don't know," because there are plenty of things that I don't know. However, on this question, are we living in the end times? Let me just go ahead and say right off the bat that we are living in somebody's end times, and you're definitely living in your end times. The moment that you're born, you're living in your last days. We touched on the fact that whenever this question is asked, usually it's in reference to Matthew chapter 24, in which Jesus prophesied the last days, the end, the coming, the destruction of the temple, all of those things. And uh, I wanted to recap the five views that are held, the five main views that are held within the church. There are many other views. Y'all don't pay attention to my office; it's a wreck right now. I've got a large order getting ready to go out of here, so this will be cleaned up by next week. But the five views that are held, and that is the pre-trib thought process, the mid-trib, the post-trib, the no-trib, and the victorious eschatology thought process. Now, pre-trib believes that there is a tribulation. The world is going to get so bad, Jesus is going to come back. There's going to be a tribulation of 7 years. And the thought process is that there's a rapture prior to that, and the church and everyone who believes in Jesus will disappear into thin air. Jesus will come and he'll rapture them, take them out of it, and then there will be 7 years of tribulation led by an antichrist. That is pre-trib thought process, um, and it's kind of an escapist mentality of the world's going to get so bad, Jesus is going to come back, he's going to rescue us out of it. Then you have the mid-trib thought process, in which there are those who believe that the rapture doesn't take place before the tribulation, but it happens during the middle of the tribulation. And then there is the post-trib, which believes that the church will go through the entire tribulation before it is taken out of the earth. Now, you have the thought process, which is it's referred to as preterism, and they don't believe in a rapture. They don't believe that Jesus is coming again in bodily form. Uh, you also have that those which believe in victorious eschatology, who believe in a return of Christ physically to the earth, but they don't believe in a rapture. They don't believe in a rapture. They don't believe in a 7 year tribulation, and that's kind of they still believe in the gifts of the Holy Spirit being present here on the earth. And I know that this is probably um, this is church suicide and pastoral suicide and minister suicide for me to say it, especially here in the deep South, in the Bible Belt that's ruled by Baptist. But I kind of lean personally, I kind of lean more towards victorious eschatology. Now, I have had years of study on this, and so that is kind of the direction that I lean towards. Now, am I 100% certain and sure that that is what I'm going to hold to? I'm still studying it, and I believe that you can study it for years, and every time that you study it, you're going to see something you didn't see previously. And I believe you should see something you didn't see previously. Your thought process should be changing throughout time. So you should be growing, you should be maturing in your life groups. There are a couple of questions that Amy put together for you, and I have not had. I don't have them pulled up in front of me right now. Give me give me just a second, and I may be able to pull those up. Um, but I would be curious to know where you kind of fall, where you as an individual kind of falls in this whole thought process. So give me just a second. Sorry guys, as I pull this up. Let's see here. There we go. Let's open it up. Uh-huh. Now, all right. Are we living in the end times? Food for thought. What are some ideas to sharing the love of Christ and bringing people to Jesus that don't involve discussing the end times? Dude, if anytime you want to talk about Jesus, all you're talking about is the end times, um, you need to work on your witnessing tactics. Can people be brought to Christ without mentioning hell? Dude, come on. Have you encountered someone preaching fear as a tool for salvation? And if so, describe how that made you feel at that time. Did you feel loved and valued, or did you feel pressure and urgency? I love these questions, and hopefully you will have some time to discuss these um, in your life group this evening or this morning, whichever time you're meeting, because these are fantastic questions, and hopefully you'll take advantage of this tool that's been given to you from Amy. So I've shared with you kind of where I lean towards. I'd love to know which way you lean, and again, we're in the deep South. We're in the buckle of the Bible Belt, so the majority of people who have studied eschatology here, or say that they've studied it, usually lean more towards a pre-trib rapture taking place. That's kind of the common thought process in our geographical area. Um, I would challenge anybody to study it and study it and study it and study it some more. But don't allow it to become your central focus, because as I said Sunday morning, that's a rabbit hole. You go down that rabbit hole, you could be there for a very long time, and it is not a salvation issue at all. I can worship with people who believe pre-trib. I can worship with people who believe mid-trib, post-trib, no trib. Um, as long as you love Jesus and as long as you love people, That is what is important to me. That is what I believe we should be basing our faith on, and that is how we should move forward, no matter where we're at or what we're doing. So, yeah, this is kind of me recapping just a little bit, sharing in 10 minutes what I took almost an hour to share this morning. So, do me a favor, if you have a question that you would like to see covered, make sure that you go in and um, make sure that you text me. Let me know what that question is, because I would love to go over it with you guys, and I would love to answer some of those questions. And I've got some great questions for this coming week. Let me see. Where's my oh there's my phone. Let me see some of the questions that have been asked that I may be covering this coming week. Let's see here. We've got the question: Why are most Christians against biblical prosperity? That's a good one. Let's see. Where else are we at here? Um, why do most preachers guilt people into an altar call every Sunday? Ooh, that's a good one. Let's see here. Why does the Jewish faith not really believe in Jesus? Why did they split? Why did the church stop teaching the supernatural? When did it happen? How did it change? How did we as a whole start falling away from true faith and head towards religion? Why is it so hard to find a good church that cares about its people? These are good questions. Very, very good question. Let's see here. Out of all of the faiths, how do we know that ours is the truth? Why is there such judgment for Christians who enjoy drinking responsibly? These are great questions. These are some good questions. But if you have a question and you would like to ask it, or you would like to see me address it, do me a favor, text that question to 803-720-7600, and I will do my best to try and get to them over the next couple of weeks. I love you, people. Let me get out of here, and you have a great day.